Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines. But today guys, we continue the expansions. Last episode we built a brand new airport. Realised after I finished recording, your boy kind of forgot to put the ATC tower. So I have no idea how planes are even landing right now. I think they're just all closing their eyes, landing and hoping there's space on the runway. I do not know. But we need to set up a proper entrance for it for the highway. Also building over there has now unlocked that area to be able to kind of expand and build upon it. So we are going to go a little bit expansion crazy. So if you guys do enjoy this, want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new in here, make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when the next episode does come out. I also want to take a little bit look as well at the public transport, because we need to do a few little tweaks here and there to kind of supplement the demands. Anyway, this is the first thing I want to do. We kind of talked about it last episode. I want to flip this around so the road comes in this way. And then it was a kind of a mix-up. I think I'm going to make it come down to there. And we'll do like a nicer system. I don't know whether to kind of implement that turn off into the actual airport. It's a bit of a tough one. I don't really know. I think I'm not going to do it. We'll flip this around and we'll move it further up, and that will kind of come in and down to like this road, and then we'll set a proper entrance up with like a nice little roundabout or something like that. I can get this road connected over too. So boom, we're gonna pause. Oh, I just realized I've still got the unlimited money mod on. Whoopsie. I did a whoopsie guys, but it's okay, we shall get through this. Right, I'm gonna delete quite far back because I don't really know entirely where I'm gonna place it. Now I'm gonna select all of it. There we go. And we are then going to move it. So first I want to rotate it. Oh, is this a good idea? Am I going to break the game doing this? Hang on, I got to go round again. Right, is that about right? Almost. Almost. So if I just get it kind of going over this to begin with, and it will kind of give me a better idea of how to align it. Do you know what? That is... If I go to there, that wasn't far off. I think I'll utilize it there. So if I bring this, right, if I bring it down a bit. So it's not going to be perfect, but I want to get this like in a centralized location. So that'll be good. So that'll bend round. I can have that come down and in. No, I feel like I still need to bring it down a bit more. Right, I don't know how. Oh, I can actually use the vehicles as a way of guiding me through where the lanes and stuff should be. Right, we'll do it there. I'll do it there. The road's going to bend round. I'll bring the road in and kind of connect. I might stick a roundabout there where it kind of connects in just to make it a little bit easier for us all. And there. I want to say I think I'm happy with it. I think I am. I'm not too sure, but we'll find out. So that running down... It's not too far off. I don't think it's much or anything that we'll kind of notice. So straight in down to there, straight up to there. And because we deleted it, I got to add back in the lane management just to make sure that everybody is playing ball. It was just here and here I had to add it in. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And then we can sort the rest of this out. So we're going to delete this road coming in. Oh, I didn't mean to delete you. I am so sorry. There we go. So we'll bring that in and bend it around. Look at all the bits and bobs we've kind of de-zoned right now. Can I get those back in if I kind of upgrade the road? Right, me, Anarchy. There we go. I think because we moved the high that kind of junction around, it kind of messed that up in a weird way. Now how this is going to play out is all based on how this bridge here is pretty much going to end. So if I select the bridge here, and forget the height of it for a moment, because it's something that we will eventually change. Now, I've got to find where it snaps, which is pretty much there. And then we're at a 14, believe it or not. So if I come down to a 10 and then down to a 0, I can do it by the 12. Boom. So that's quite up and over. I might kind of raise this one as well. So it kind of mimics the design that we've kind of got going on. I don't know about the length, the height just yet. I'll have to wait for a ship to go under. But the whole reason that's there now then is so if I bring this, let's say, out by 20, and then I went this way and this way, that becomes the road that runs down here. Unless I stick it out a bit more. Just to kind of make us go in a little bit deeper. For that road. Because it is going to be like one of the main roads. Like they all filter to get to their destination. So if I bring this in a bit more. It then slightly changes how far this runs down. So if I brought this to about there. Let me delete this back. I want to find the kind of the bend on this. So a 12. Should we just go for the 12 by 12? Yeah, there's no messing about. No playing games right there. So and then we'll bend this in kind of down to here. So if I chose looking at it, this one. So I can whack around about there. I can bring this in nicely as well. It can run parallel, you know, in a certain space. And probably stick around about. It depends how big. Do you know what? I don't think it'll need a roundabout. It depends how busy it is. This one's going to need it 100%. And we'll stick one there as well. So the traffic can continue to flow. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So all I got to do then is get this now connected. Now, how have we done? Have we actually kind of connected this up before in a sense of... Oh, actually, I've got another idea. What if I didn't connect that up to the road? What if this kind of continued like this system here as a highway that cuts through and then connects to over there? Just a way to kind of extend a highway through this area? Or do you reckon that's way too much? I think it might be a little bit too much. Oh, I don't know. That's a good idea. Because anybody over like here right now can jump on the highway, down, and then cut there. Rather than driving through. See, I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. I mean, who would it benefit? It would probably benefit a lot of people. Which would mean that then this... Oh, if I push that down a bit here, that could go under the highway overpass. Oh, too many decisions, guys. I've got too many decisions right now. So that would be a 2-lane highway. Passing through. Do you ever just regret anything that you say? Right, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Okay, guys? So if I pick... Let's just say that there and get it to kind of run in terms of a parallel situation. And all I've got to do then, and ignore how ridiculous it's going to look. Because the move it tool will kind of sort everything out for us. So just kind of elevate those. So bringing you out, well, bringing that straight and then kind of bow that slightly out. Bringing you straight, bow it slightly out. So that would work. I just got to sort out the levels. I might be able to do it without kind of doing the alignment tool. So if I select you and you, brought you down. You slightly... Is that one higher than the other? No. It will work. There shouldn't be any much dramas. But I realised I don't think that's going to play in too well on that bend, to be honest with you. So let me see where this actually comes in from. So 38. If I did a 33, which would be a 5x5 bend. Okay, apparently it's not. It's a 4x4. What is that to it anyway? It's a 7. Right, delete that. We should just do it from here instead. 7x7. And boom. And we're in. No point making it a bit too ridiculous, is it? So, if I then go across by a... Let's go at an 80. Which will be that marker there. And just come up by a 10. That's where we can kind of connect this in. So if I brought this up by 30... What's the connection there? So that is a 41. So if I do a 20... We're going to be looking at a 21 by 21 bend. And we're back in. So without any doing any roundabouts, without doing anything crazy, I've got the bare minimum set up to be all connected again. I've just got to sort out the alignment here. I've got to sort out the junction restrictions because they will kind of slow down on that, which is going to be annoying. Let me just sort out this one, sort out that one. And we will eventually need a roundabout there, but we'll see what happens and what comes from this, just based off this before, again, roundabout here, roundabout there, roundabout there, roundabout there. I'm not too sure about the roundabout here. It depends if I build anything additional around to kind of utilize that road. It's an interesting one. It definitely is. So we'll see. We'll just kind of see how it goes, to be honest with you. Oh, I got this road here. It could then bridge up and then connect into that. More of a through road, thus also utilizing more of the pass. That's actually a really good idea. Oh, Seniac is a genius. Seniac is a genius. Kind of, not really. Alright, how by 10? Actually, I go out by 15. Because it gives me space then if I want to work with doing the roundabout. So if I just elevate here, let's go 10 by 12 to begin with. There we go. And then if I just go literally straight across, don't worry too much about this. Actually, I do need to worry slightly because I need to figure out where the bend's going to take place. So if I went to there, I'm trying to figure out where the connections would be. And if I went up by 5, and then where would that connection kind of come in? 9 by 10. Okay, we can work with that. We can work with this. So that continues to overpass there, which gives these guys here a through route to the airport if needs be. But it allows me to kind of then connect, you know, these roads coming up and over. I don't know how handy they're going to be, but especially for this one, I can have it running straight down and in. Which makes all this now kind of, you know, low-key connected a bit more. If I go out by 11, brought that down here, so by 20. I'm wondering if I can make this one kind of go underneath it. So you're looking at 24 by 20. I'll go with that. So that kind of comes down and runs this way if we're looking to kind of build and zone more around this area. So that's how it should work, right? I'm not liking this little kind of system right now. 11. There we go. To get that... Oh, it's a bit funky, isn't it? Let me delete you. The grid formats are slightly off. I don't know what it is about it, but... There we go. Works either way. Oh, it's a shame that doesn't snap directly into there, which I can make it. It's not a problem. We're more connected than ever before. I don't know how busy that road's going to be, but, you know, it's there if it is. So, garbage trucks can get in. Perfect. It ain't too busy, these areas, so there's no stress and worry about them. But we connected. Oh, gotta get an ACT tower before I do forget. Because I will forget. ATs. Oh, which one should we go for? I went for this airport, so it would have to be kind of like this one. And I think we'll squeeze it just there. Oh, airport lounges. Is this it? Yeah. Right, we'll get 2 in. We'll get 1 there. 1 there. All it really does is upgrade the attractiveness. I mean, we're not enough yet to get to the next level, but we don't have enough passengers just yet either. So, has there many people been using it? 3,700. That's pretty good. Is that like a military plane? That almost looked like a military plane then for a second, didn't it? Yeah. Right, so we've unlocked this area then, and the question is, yo, Seniac, what are you going to do with this area? Well, I think the side near the train line here, is that the passenger line? That would... No, it's a cargo line. So I could definitely run some industrial down there and utilize the kind of the train line for connectivity. So we'll probably do some of that around there, and then probably some residential over this side near, like, and we can kind of turn that into a nice little beach strip, which would be kind of cool to implement and add in. But let's focus first then and just kind of close in the gap between these areas and getting as many people moving in as possible. So I'm going to take it directly under. And I'll do it over here as well. If it will allow me. Yep. Because we can kind of zone it where they're kind of underneath it, but they're not. That does go slightly wonky, doesn't it? I don't like this. I don't like what it's trying to accomplish right now. So I'll end that there. Actually, I'll do one more going across. There we go. There we go. And then we'll do this one, 10. going up that way. I'll kind of end that there. No, actually, no, because I can make this actually kind of continue round. Alright, if I brought that out as well. And I wonder if I use the connection tool, we can get a bunch of zoning down as well and start growing this area a bit more. If that can just kind of, you know, complement what's going down. Yeah. You won't notice it too much when I've got all the trees in and all the buildings are in. I don't know what to do with this, whether to kind of make that go as an... I mean, oh, then again, I've got to make this go up as well. So yeah, I don't know whether to kind of... I mean, I'll raise this because that's what's going to happen eventually, is for it to be raised. But you're running that pretty much like a dead end at that section, aren't you? So I don't know whether to kind of like just tree all that off and just kind of keep it as it is. But I'm thinking on this side, just low density residential, because it's kind of like then on the outskirts. And it's near the train lines. It'll be too loud and noisy for them. So just kind of keep it nice and simple in many ways. So if I left all that to be the kind of commercial there, do a little commercial hotspot here. And then we'll run all the way up this then with the any little gaps and nooks and crannies, we'll do low density residential. And we'll paintbrush going around the edges down here. And then we'll do the rest of the gaps then with trees. So that it kind of performs like natural sound barriers, but also just kind of finishes this edging off. And it just feels like a different kind of complete district to this area at all, altogether, I mean. And I'm going to give a 2 kind of gridded gap there. So when I do the trees, it will kind of run some trees going down, which will kind of end pretty nice. So run that to there. There we go. So let them do what they've got to do anyway. Lots of planes are coming in. I like how we did the different way directions around in the runways. So that's kind of really worked out in our favor. Pretty good. Let's take a look at these little gaps in the city kind of central area too. Now, right, I think it would be ideal maybe to drop some industrial in this intersection, because we do have the train line nearby. But it's trying to also make it where it's not too ridiculous. So 51. By 39, that should be an 11. Oh no, okay, I messed that up. Oh, it was already perfectly set up, wasn't it? So I had to do like a 40 or whatever it was there. Run that down. Push this underneath, but it's not really gonna run in our favor too much. So we'll go to there. I'm gonna bring a section here out. So we kind of define the format that we've already got for this place. And we're creating our own grids in many ways. And again, the trees are my friends in this city. They can kind of hide some poorly zoned and built areas. So it's always good. And I'm going to do a bunch of 10s going along. And that will kind of be the end of that. Feels a bit weird and awkward, yeah, I know. But it's near the export area here, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. So if I just quickly zone only the bit that I want, dirty industry. There we go. So do it like in some of the areas, not all the areas. And then we'll do offices to kind of fill the gap. So definitely offices down to here. We'll definitely do some just to, yeah, we'll do 2 before the train line. Meaning it gives us that gap running through back. And we'll end it just there. So that's as far as I'm going to take it. So on the inside here, I want to do all offices in here, but again, I want to slightly stagger them. Like that. And, oh, some down here too. So we'll go all the way down on this side. Kill off that little section there. I don't know if that's going to be a little bit ridiculous, having them trying to build on this section. So we'll wait for that. And then we'll drop down some of the trees. So the Foolsopolis brush, kind of just going around. They'll build over it anyway. Do the same over here. So where there's gaps for the trees, we're going to fill all that up. coming down to here as well, because you've got that 2 little wide gap section just there. So that'll be handy. So that will slowly get built up then. Again, it will take a while because we're still building in many, many areas, I believe. And so we're going to fast forward now. Or at least try and fast forward. So the building the industry area. Got a little bit of commercial down already. The levels are all dropping all over the place right now. So we do have some slight demands. Just got everything to be kind of spent. We're up to 323,000 residents. Which is still quite a lot, to be honest with you, isn't it? It is still kind of like a lot. But let it do what it's got to do, boys. Let it do what it's got to do. So hopefully that will kind of supplement this area. Also provide kind of, you know, the commercial in these areas with the support they need for the products, which is always a good thing. So, public transport. Right, I'm going to have to take a swig of tea before I tackle the public transport, boys. Hold on. Ah, delicious. Right, so we have the major lines. By major lines, I'm talking about the metro lines. That's what we have. Now, I do want to extend off non-metro, meaning extending off the tram line, adding in a few buses, because we've built all the hubs in various places. We just haven't utilized them just yet. To get to the small nook and crannies for people who don't want to travel vast kind of journeys and then walk. So we kind of need to do that. But we do have to be a little bit careful in the sense of that I don't make them too primary, because then we'll kind of have traffic on the roads. So first things first, we can take a look at the metro lines. We're going to go through each and every single one of these kind of real quick right now. We bring this down to where only on the ones that have high numbers. So this one here at 241 is completely fine. Oh, actually, you know what? You can probably benefit with an additional one. 82 passengers on this, completely fine here. Metro line 8, we need so many more right now. Even doubling is probably not enough. It's probably going to have to be 12 vehicles on the line to get through those demands. So Metro line number 5, that's perfectly fine. Metro line number 9, just glancing at it, I'm gonna double the amount on that. That should do it. So that was number 9. Went on to number 4, which I think it's just because it's so spaced out that it seems like there's a lot of people waiting. So we'll add 2 more on that. Metro line 2, there's 8 vehicles on this. Probably, again, it's the same thing in it because they're so spaced out. I'll add an extra 2 on. So number 11. We've got 4 vehicles, a lot of people waiting, so I'm going to up that to 12. So that was Metro Line 11. Number 10, which has only got 2 vehicles, which, again, it's quite spaced out, so I'll add an extra 2 on. Line 13, only 3 people. This is the... oh, that's the kind of the loop around the airport, so that one's completely fine. Metro Line 12. I think an extra 1 would be handy. No, we'll go for an extra. We'll put it up to 8. There we go. So that will kind of increase the capacity of moving passengers around a little bit more, but we need to do a little bit more on our part. So I'm thinking trams. We'll first take a look at the trams in areas we'll find beneficial. Now we have this big back and forward loop that we have up and running right now. It'll be nice if we can kind of come off that and extend in a few different areas with the tram line. So I'm thinking about looking at this area first, but I think what I would want to do is extend it a bit more to kind of utilize the trams a bit more. So, like for example, I could, make him use so much of this line, bring it down. I can make it scattered down here, and then say come back up to there. Oh, and there, and then back in. Oh, yeah, okay. So is there a stop there? Okay, right. That probably made no sense right there. That probably literally made no sense, but I've got an idea here that I can play around with. So if I first then start with the tram track roads, the singular lane roads. So the trams come down to there, and they turn. So we'll extend this, going down to there. It will come down this road. it will turn and go up this road, turn and go up this road, and connect in. So it's only a simple loop, but it'll make a huge difference. Oh, hang on. What have I got on? Yeah, hold on. I forgot I had the elevated thing on. Well, to the ground thing on anyway. Right, this should do it automatically. So this means I'm bringing trams to this industrial area. There we go. Did I get it? What's going on here? Oh, there's multiple roads there. That's interesting. Alright, let's get that connected like that. That's really interesting how there was multiple roads there. I didn't even know. There we go. So this will all make sense in just a second, guys. Trust me. Yeah, it might create traffic issues. But listen. Who doesn't like a good little bit of traffic issue now and then? I know I do. Right, now I was going to make this go through here, which could potentially be a pain. But I think as long as we set it up right, I don't think there'll be too many issues. Alright, down to that. And this then should technically connect to a join. Right, there we go. So in the grand scheme of things, if a view like this, we have that big rectangle going up and down. That'll kind of be like our main loop, where all the other loops kind of join onto it. So we then have this potential loop here that crisscrosses at these two stops there to create a nice little loop there. So it picks up people which will be down here. A lot of the industrial brings them back and forth there. Otherwise, the only other kind of alternative if they wanted to travel via public transport, if they lived over here, is getting on this, going all the way into there, changing there and coming all the way down, and then walking to where they want to go to. Here, they could just like jump off here and go to there, rather than doing that vast movement. So it kind of helps in a weird way. So, okay, having a stop there, I'll bring a stop just here. And then we'll have one. I mean, we've got to stop just there. Actually, I cancelled that one. I'll pull it. I'll pull it here instead, on the road, because I can kind of travel down to it. It's going to make no difference, but I'll put one there, and I'll adjust it accordingly when we come to building in that area. We'll definitely have a stop there. Move up. Have a stop there. Move up. We'll have a stop here before the turn. Drop a stop here. Drop a stop there. Place that one there. And then, do you know, I feel like I need to have one here. Right, I'll do it there underneath. It might be a bit too close, but hey ho. Is what it is. Add a stop. So now mimic this going back. So some of these stops that are kind of like in a bit of a weird location, but it's there for when we eventually do build in that area. And then we can just slightly adjust it if I need to. It'll probably stay there, I don't know. One just there. Why do they crisscross here? That's really weird how it crisscrosses there. It is, isn't it? Well, let me see if I can... Did they do it anywhere else? No. Has that fixed it? Huh? Okay, if I elevate this with it, that should stop the little twistiness. That's very funky, isn't it? Right, I'll come back later because sometimes it does take a while to kind of update. There isn't a second one underneath it, is there? No. I'll delete them both anyway, just in case, but we should be fine. Where was I? So getting this back in. Straight down to there. It should update. I don't know what's going on with it, but it should update. Anyway, so that's all now set up. That's perfect. So that becomes like an additional kind of connection, an extension for the tram line. Now, I'll get one more in. I only want to do this gradually. I don't want to kind of go crazy from the get-go and just go mental and add it all in. So we've got a nice little section just there. I'm looking at areas that will kind of, you know, really, really supplement for it. So I think around here will be a nice little loop. I mean, these are all definitely kind of good to go, but I've got to plan that out just right with all the vehicles. So, yeah, like I said, I've got to do this in a certain way. So I could definitely come off that there, bend it down in. Right, going down the whole stretch and then cutting in there. So it'll be through the middle of all of this, which provides lots of stops because we don't really have a stop around here. So if I did it from here, and then obviously if I had to go past this, it's a good little transfer for people. I've just accidentally kind of raised that road, which would have deleted the zoning. It does mean if I have a roundabout at some point, it might be a bit fun. Now, the only thing that I don't like about trams is the traffic it causes at junctions and stuff like that. But I feel like the city's at a point right now where we're not really starting to see that much traffic. Oh, that's a good point, actually. I was going to make it go here and then come down there. But I could actually make it come down this road and connect there and go down, thus having a stop around this bus depot / metro hub to transfer more passengers. I'm going to go for that instead. So I know there's a stop just there, which are kind of like slightly out of the way. I might kind of move them. But that could be a little bit nicer of a system. And we get to see trams kind of slightly going over that train line there. So it's all part of the fun, right? It's all part of the fun. So that connects into there. So where does it end down here? Sorry. Okay, do I definitely want it to kind of... Yeah, because we're going into industrial area here. So if I made it turn there, I could have brought it down and connected in. No, I'll save that for a separate loop. I'll save it for a separate loop. Rather than making this one longer than it needs to be. And then bam, and we connected in. So before I do anything then, I just want to, where they both kind of connect. Okay, there's a double stop just there, that's fine. I think it's more this one. I think I might move the stop. Yeah, I'm going to move it to there and to there. So I can pick these guys up from it. So if I had a stop here, am I going in this direction first? Yeah. I'll have a stop there. And we'll come down here. I'll have my first stop on that road just there. Do one just there. One just there. Last on that road just there. Cut it in just here. One just there for the subway stop. And then we're straight into here, which is fine. There. There. There we go, complete the line. So pretty much going back in the same direction right now. There to there. To there. Cut it in. Stopping just there. There. And then running down here. There we go. And there's... Oh, that's there we go. Completing the line. Sweet, mate. Sweet. So that's 2 additional loops. Got a nice big loop here. Additional tram loop just kind of coming off just there. So now I can kind of connect that loop going down this way to there again. To kind of connect, merge them both in. Now that I've got that road going up, I can kind of continue it going up this way. Or doing something to kind of create like another loop coming in. So if they all connect to this middle one, that becomes like the central loop in many ways. And that should kind of ease and aid the public transport network. Should be really, really good. A couple of people already waiting down here as well. This area is slowly being building up right now. We know we've got like a nice chunk of commercial demand that we do need to grow and build. But like I said, I just want to do that stuff in kind of stages. Because, you know, it will kind of progressively cause traffic issues down the long run. And I'll give it some time before we review those tram lines to whether or not we need to add more trams on those lines. So how's the airport these days then? 11,000, whoa. Okay, so if I can make the airport a bit more attractive, we could level it up. So let's see what I can kind of add to it. Just the generic stuff. We're kind of like, I mean, it doesn't need to be in the airport area, but we kind of need to do something around here. So I think I'll hold out on that kind of stuff. I know there's like airplanes and aviation kind of stuff we can kind of squeeze in, which that could, I mean, don't really want to connect to the end of the runway, but there's like little sections where I could implement the fueling station and whatnot. So I don't know if like having it on the inside will be such a good idea. Yikes! But I can definitely use a kind of part plane. What are the attractiveness on these? Oh, it's like 20. What about the large ones? 40. See, 10 of them's only like 400, so it's like doesn't really seem feasible at the moment. But I can add a couple in just to kind of, you know, add to it a little bit. I suppose. Not really a lot I can do. You know what? No, I'm not going to do it just because I'll have to focus on doing a lot of the hotel stuff like that. And if I do build on this little section, that's when I'll then want to focus on the airport transfer for the buses and whatnot. So I'll leave that for a minute. I'll leave it for a minute. Okay. So this little industrial area is slowly coming along right now. Are we starting to see? Yeah, there's starting to see more movement on the trains getting back and forward. I know we still had that problem with this, but I feel like it's not as bad anymore. I mean, the issue is with the amount of vehicles trying to get to this. You could say that's an issue, but again, now we're building this, it might take a little bit of the heat off this area because it's kind of producing in other areas. So it's there's a lot of back and forth you've got to go through. A lot of back and forth. I do know we need to build like a nice little garbage area, and I'm wondering with what we've just built there will be kind of good enough. No, I don't think so. Where's my little garbage sections? One down there, nice big chunk one over there. We did extend recently some over there. We got a couple over there, a load over here as well. I don't think it would go amiss having something more central. I don't know whether I can kind of keep focusing on the large recycling kind of stuff, or maybe go for like an advanced incineration plant. It does create some pollution though, but it could be something quite. I mean, it would kill off all the trees around though, wouldn't it? Like I want something that's not gonna pollute, but you ain't gonna get that in the incineration plant, are you? That's 100. I have that, but that ruins your game because it hires people and kind of tricks into your job population. Pollution-free incinerator, again, not feeling it. I think it's just a case we're sticking to this, just kind of keeping the eco-friendly side of it running. So I can add in one there. And I can do one. Oh, that's not. I said I could do one under there, but it's going to clip the highway, which is a shame. But I can definitely do one here. So not really going to make much difference, but 2 in locally will kind of serve the local area, making some of the other vehicles not have to kind of push out as far. Some issues here. Then it's not down to the trams. I think that it's because it comes off this, to be honest with you. But it would need some type of a roundabout at some point. I mean, sometimes it gets free and cleared, and sometimes you get that build-up. So I wonder how the public transport over time will kind of change things. We'll see. We'll definitely see. So, nearly 130,000 residents. Do we have 130,000? No, we didn't, did we? 130,000 residents, almost. We're almost there. So the progressions have definitely increased. This airport can definitely be leveled up. Then we can create our own headquarters, thus creating our own airline company. We kind of covered that little section just there. We've done that a little bit in there, but most importantly, we've extended some of the public transport offerings. So next time we get some industrial demand, we'll definitely utilize this train line here. We're building a nice industrial area over here. Start to do a little bit more sprawl. But I'm thinking we've got the farming industry, we've got the ore industry. They're the only two industries, right? Yeah, we've still got to do the woodland industry, the oil industry, and the fishing industry as well. So I think at some point we should really start thinking about setting up and creating our next industry within the city. I think that's going to be very, very important as we kind of continue to progress. So guys, hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So